Ladies, let me tell you something. Men are simple. We don't always say what we feel, but we sure feel it. And one thing I know for sure, men start missing you more when they realize what they had was special. A lot of women make the mistake of always being available, always checking in, always giving. Now, don't get me wrong. Love is about giving. It's about being there for your partner. It's about caring. But sometimes in the process of giving, a woman can end up giving too much. She gives her time, her energy, her emotions, her love, sometimes at the expense of her own well-being. And here's the problem. When you're always there, when you're always chasing, when you're always making the effort, a man gets used to it. He starts to take it for granted. Not because he's a bad person, but because that's just human nature. Think about it. If you walk outside every day and the sun is shining, do you ever stop to appreciate the sun? No, because you expect it to be there. But the moment it rains for a week straight and you haven't seen the sun in days, suddenly you miss it. Suddenly you appreciate it more. That's exactly how it works in relationships. When a woman stops chasing, when she stops calling first, when she stops making all the plans, something shifts in a man's mind. He starts to notice the absence. He starts to wonder what's going on. And that's when he starts to miss her. See, men are hunters by nature. It's wired into us. We like to chase. We like the thrill. We like to feel like we're earning something valuable. But when a woman makes it too easy, when she's always the one reaching out, always the one putting in the effort, it removes the excitement. It removes the challenge. Now, I know some women are thinking, but Steve, if I don't call him, if I don't text him, won't he forget about me? And I get that fear. I do. But let me tell you something. A man who truly values you, a man who truly cares, he won't forget you just because you didn't text him for a day. In fact, the opposite will happen. If he's used to hearing from you every morning, and then one morning he doesn't get that good morning text, it's going to hit him. He's going to look at his phone and think, oh, wait a minute, where's she at? Now, he might not act on it immediately. He might not reach out right away. But trust me, he notices. And the longer that absence lingers, the more he starts to miss you. Because now, for the first time in a long time, he has to wonder about you. He has to think about what you're doing, who you're with, why you're not calling. And that's where the shift happens. Let me give you a real-life example. I know a woman who was always chasing after this man. She was texting him constantly, checking up on him, always making time for him, and he liked her, sure, but he never really prioritized her. He would take hours to respond, sometimes even days. He wouldn't make real plans with her. He just kept her in the background, knowing that she was always there whenever he felt like talking. But one day, she decided she had enough. She stopped reaching out. She stopped waiting by the phone. She stopped being available at his convenience. And you know what happened? At first, nothing. He didn't notice right away, but after a few days, he started to wonder. After a week, he started to miss her. After 2 weeks, he was texting her, asked him where she'd been, why she hadn't been around. See, it's not about playing games. It's not about manipulation. It's about balance. It's about making sure that your energy is being matched. If you're always the one giving, always the one chasing, always the one putting in the effort, and he's not doing this, something is off. And the only way to reset that balance is to step back, to give him space to realize what he's losing, to remind him that your presence is not a given, it's a privilege. And here's the beautiful part. When you stop chasing, you free yourself. You stop worrying about what he's doing, whether he's thinking about you, whether he's going to call, because now you're focused on you. You're focused on your life, your goals, your happiness. And that energy, that confidence, that's attractive. Nothing makes a man miss you more than seeing you happy and thriving without him. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you're always chasing, always giving, always trying, take a step back. Stop calling first. Stop texting first. Stop being the one who always makes the plans. See what happens. If he cares, he'll step up. If he doesn't, then you just learned something valuable. You learned that he wasn't worth the chase in the first place. Ladies, never forget this. A man who truly values you will never need to be chased. He will make the effort. He will show up. And he will do the work. And if he doesn't, well, then you just gave yourself the gift of clarity, and that's worth more than any relationship that was built on one-sided effort. Men start missing you more when you elevate yourself. Something happens when a woman shifts her focus from a man to herself. It changes the whole dynamic. Suddenly, she's not waiting around for his call, not rearranging her schedule to fit his, not constantly checking to see if he's paying attention. Instead, she's locked in on her own growth, her own happiness, her own success. And let me tell you something, there's nothing more attractive than a woman who is thriving with or without a man. A lot of times, women get caught up in the idea that they have to impress a man, that they have to do things to make him want them, that they have to put themselves second to keep him interested. But the truth is, a man values a woman so much more when he sees that she values herself first. Imagine this. You meet a man, and in the beginning, you're this strong, independent woman. You've got your goals, your dreams, your routine. You're busy, you've got things going on. He's drawn to that. He's intrigued by the fact that you have your own life. But then, as the relationship develops, you start making small sacrifices. You skip your workout to spend time with him. You stop working late because you want to be available when he calls. You start putting his needs ahead of yours little by little. And what happens? The very thing that attracted him to you in the first place, your drive, your ambition, your independence starts to fade. And now instead of being that woman he admired, you become someone who's revolving around him. And guess what? He doesn't value that the same way. See, men don't sit around saying, wow, I really miss the girl who dropped everything for me. No, they missed a woman who was so busy living her life that they had to work hard just to keep up with her. When you elevate yourself, when you keep striving for your personal growth, your career, your health, your happiness, that's when a man starts to miss you because he starts realizing that you don't need him to complete you. And let me tell you something about men. We like to feel needed, but we respect a woman who doesn't depend on us for her entire happiness. Let's talk about self-improvement for a second. When you're working on yourself, whether it's leveling up in your career, getting in the best shape of your life, traveling, learning new skills, it shifts the way a man sees you because now he sees you as a woman of high value. He sees you as someone who is constantly growing, constantly evolving, and that creates a sense of urgency in him. He starts thinking, man, if I don't step up, I might lose her, and that's a powerful thing. Because when a man feels like he could lose you to something greater, whether it's your ambitions, your personal growth, or even just the idea of you realizing you deserve better, he starts to appreciate you more. He starts missing you in a way that's deeper than just physical attraction. Let me give you a real example. I know a woman who was in a long-term relationship, and over time, she lost herself in it. She stopped focusing on her dreams. She stopped hanging out with her friends. She stopped doing the things that made her happy because she was so wrapped up in making the relationship work. And guess what? The relationship still fell apart. He lost interest. He started taking her for granted. But when she finally walked away, when she decided to reclaim her time, her energy, her passion, everything changed. She started traveling. She started working out again. She got a promotion at work. She started living for herself. And you know what happened? That same man who didn't appreciate her before started reaching out, started checking in, started missing her. Because now she wasn't just the woman who was waiting for him. She was the woman who was thriving without him. Ooh. And that's the secret. When you elevate yourself, when you become the best version of yourself, you don't have to chase anyone. They come to you. Because high-value people attract high-value attention. So if you want a man to miss you, stop worrying about him and start worrying about you. Oh, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What kind of life do you want to create for yourself? Because the more you focus on those things, the more magnetic you become, the more desirable you become, and the more he starts to realize that if he doesn't step up, someone else will. But here's the best part. You're not doing it for him. You're doing it for you. And when you truly start living that way, whether he misses you or not doesn't even matter anymore. Because you're too busy enjoying your life to wait around for someone to realize your worth. And that, my friends, is the ultimate power move. Men start missing you more when they see other men admiring you. Now, before you jump to conclusions, this is not about playing games, making a man jealous on purpose, or trying to manipulate someone's emotions. No, This is about a fundamental truth of human nature, especially male nature. Men are competitive by design. It's wired into us. Since the beginning of time, men have had to compete for resources, for leadership, for respect, and yes, for the attention of women. When a man feels like he has something valuable, he might start to take it for granted if he thinks no one else is paying attention to it. But the moment he realizes that other men are noticing you, appreciating you, and admiring you, something clicks in his mind. Suddenly, he sees you differently. Think about it this way. Imagine a man owns a car. He drives it every day, parks it in the same spot, barely thinks about it. It's just there. But one day he sees someone else staring at it, checking it out, maybe even making an offer to buy it. Now all of a sudden, that car seems a whole lot more valuable to him. Why? Because now he realizes that other people see what he has, and he starts questioning whether he's appreciated it enough. This is exactly how men react when they see that other men admire you. Maybe it's the way they look at you, the way they compliment you, or the way they respect you. It's not even about whether you're actively dating someone else. It's about the fact that your value is being recognized. And that's when a man starts missing you. Because now he's not just thinking about you, he's thinking about the possibility of losing you to someone who sees your worth in a way he might not have before. Let me give you a real-life example. I know a woman who was in a long-term relationship with a guy who started taking her for granted. In the beginning, he was all over her, treating her like a queen, making an effort. But after a while, he stopped trying. He got comfortable. She was always there, always loyal, always devoted to him. And he got used to it. But then something shifted. She started focusing on herself again. She started dressing up more, taking care of herself, becoming more confident. And naturally, other men started noticing. When they went out, she would get compliments from strangers. When she posted a picture, guys would comment. She wasn't doing it to get a reaction. She was just living her life looking good and feeling good. But you know what happened? Her man started noticing too. Suddenly, he was paying attention in a way he hadn't before. Suddenly, he was putting in effort, showing up, reminding her how much he cared. Why? Because the presence of other men reminded him that she was desirable, that she wasn't just his. She was a woman that other people admired, respected, and wanted to be around. And that triggered something in him. Now here's the key. It's not about seeking validation from other men. It's not about trying to make someone jealous. It's about embodying the kind of confidence, beauty, and energy that naturally draws admiration. Because when a man sees that other men admire you, he starts to reevaluate how he sees you. He starts thinking, well, maybe I took her for granted. Maybe I didn't give her the attention she deserved. Maybe I need to step up before someone else does. This isn't just about physical attraction either. It's about the way you carry yourself. When a woman is confident, when she is successful, when she has a presence that commands respect, people notice. And when other people notice, the man who once thought he had all the time in the world to figure things out suddenly feels a sense of urgency. Think about celebrities, for example. The moment a high-profile woman gets into a new relationship, suddenly people start talking about how attractive she is, how desirable she is, how they never realized how great she looked before. Because human nature makes us see value through the eyes of others. When we see that someone is wanted, we start to wonder what makes them so special. The same thing happens in everyday life. If you're in a situation where a man isn't appreciating you, stop chasing him. Stop waiting for his attention. Instead, start focusing on yourself. Look good, feel good, level up your life, and trust me, he'll notice. And here's the best part. By the time he realizes he misses you, you might have already moved on. You might have realized that you were never meant to wait for someone to see your worth in the first place. And that is the most powerful position you can be in. Not waiting for someone to miss you, but knowing that your value has never been dependent on their recognition. Men start missing you more when they realize you were their piece. See, a lot of people think that men only miss a woman because of how she looks, how much fun they had together, or even just the history they share. But the truth is, what really makes a man miss a woman on a deep level is when he realizes that she brought something to his life that no one else did. Peace. Now, let's break that down. What does it mean to be a man's piece? It doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean tolerating disrespect. And it certainly doesn't mean sacrificing yourself to make him comfortable. Being a man's peace means that when the world is chaotic, when life is stressful, when everything is moving too fast, you are the one place where he feels safe. It means that your presence calms him, that being around you doesn't feel like work. It feels like home. A lot of men don't realize the value of this until it's gone. See, men are constantly under pressure. They may not always talk about it, but they feel it. The pressure to succeed, the pressure to provide, the pressure to be strong all the time. Society teaches men that they can't be vulnerable, that they can't show weakness. So what do? They bottle things up, they carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, and they keep moving forward. But here's where you come in. When a man finds a woman who makes him feel like he can breathe, like he doesn't have to put on a front, like he can just be, that's rare. That's something he might not even fully appreciate while he has it. Because in the moment he might think, this is normal. This is how it's supposed to be. But the moment he loses it, that's when reality hits him. Let me give you an example. I know a guy who was in a relationship with a woman who was everything to him. She supported him, encouraged him, believed in him when he didn't even believe in himself. She never made life harder for him. She made it easier. Not because she was trying to impress him, but because that's just who she was. She had a calm presence, a kind heart, and she genuinely cared about him. But you know what happened? He took it for granted. He thought that kind of love, that kind of support would always be there. So he didn't prioritize her. He got distracted by life, by work, by things that in the grand scheme of things weren't nearly as valuable as the woman standing beside him. And one day she walked away. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but because she realized that she was pouring into someone who wasn't pouring back into her. At first, he didn't feel it. The women he met after her didn't bring that same sense of peace. They brought drama, they brought stress, they brought surface level attraction, but no depth. And suddenly he started thinking about her. Not just about how she looked, not just about the fun they had, but about how he felt when he was with her. See, men don't always express their emotions the way women do. A woman might miss a man and say, I miss the way he held me. I miss the way he made me feel special. A man might not say those words out loud, but he feels them. He remembers what it was like to come home after a hard day and feel safe in a woman's presence. He remembers what it was like to talk to someone who actually understood him, who didn't judge him, who made him feel like he could be himself. And when he loses that, it's a kind of loneliness that no amount of distractions can fix. He might go out with friends. He might meet other women. He might try to act like he's fine. But deep down, he knows. He knows that he had something special, and he let it slip away. Now, here's where it gets interesting. When a man realizes that you were his peace, he will try to come back. He will reach out. He will check in. He will try to find a way back into your life. Not necessarily because he wants to start over, but because he misses the feeling that you brought into his life. But here's the key you have to ask yourself, does he deserve it? See, being a man's peace doesn't mean sacrificing your own peace. It doesn't mean being there for someone who didn't appreciate you the first time around. Sometimes, when a man realizes what he lost, it's too late. And that's okay. Because the lesson here isn't about making a man miss you. It's about realizing your own worth. You are not just someone's comfort zone. You are not just a place of peace for someone who didn't value you. You are your own person, and your peace matters just as much as his. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where a man finally realizes what he had, take a step back and ask yourself, do you still want it? Does he bring peace into your life, or was it always one-sided? Because the real power isn't in making someone miss you. The real power is in knowing that whether he misses you or not, you are still whole, still thriving, still at peace within yourself. And when you carry that energy, that's when the right man, not just the man, but the man who truly values you, will recognize your worth from the start without having to lose you first.